Hi everyone. Hi Paul.
Hi Donna.
How are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks very much. How's yourself?
Brilliant. We've got a brilliant show tonight with Gumo Maniacs. You looking forward to it?
Forward to it, definitely. A bit of thrash.
Yeah.
We love our
You've
thrash
been
metal
listening.
as well as every other genre, yeah.
You've been listening to all their music then?
Yeah, loads of it, absolutely.
Yeah.
Earphones have been in, I think I've almost worn them out. So I've got to be, I can't play it too loud because I'm in the house with someone else. So I'll stick my earphones on and I'll let it blast out, give my eardrums a good workout. Like
Yeah. I think sometimes that's the best way to listen to music anyway, with headphones in, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because you get that proper stereo vibe, don't you? You get the proper feeling and the thudding in your ears of the bass and
Yeah.
other instruments separately. So yeah, it is the best way of listening to them. I think I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah,
And no interruptions.
Definitely.
Because you just can't hear anyone else because we all play it so loud, don't we?
Unless someone sneaks up behind me and kicks me or something like that. Totally oblivious. Yeah.
I think should we bring Daniel on and say hello?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Hello there.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
how are you doing?
I'm good. Good.
Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All the way from Germany?
Yes.
Yeah. You having a good day?
Yeah, I'm having a good day, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
really busy. You're really busy at the moment, aren't you? You've got such a lot going on.
Yes. I created a monster, you could say, but it's all right. It's a really good stuff happening. No, I'm really glad for all the stuff that is happening. I cannot talk about everything yet, but I can talk about everything Gumo Maniacs, of course. But yes, there's a lot of stuff going on, but also a lot of sunshine, so everything's fine, I guess.
So you've been getting out and about in the sun and life getting back to normal over there now?
Yes, looks like.
Yeah, that's good. What's
is
it like
Gumo
where you are, Paul?
I was just thinking, is Gumo your nickname, or where did
yes.
you come up with the name Gumo Maniacs?
Yeah, it's Gumo is my nickname,
Right.
It is something like, it's really difficult to tell the story in English, but it happened when I was in apprenticeship as a sound engineer.
Right.
And I was saying to one, I was there for 2 weeks. I did not have a clue what I was doing, and my boss back then was like criticizing me, and I said something to him like, "Hey, you good man, be a good man and tell me what to do, and then I will do it. It's not that I'm stupid." And the good man, it's like it was shortened afterwards by my colleagues, and it became like the Gumo thing out of that situation.
Right.
And then in the music scene and in the sound engineer scene in my hometown, it got stuck somehow. It also got stuck in my head, and that's my nickname, Gumo. And the Gumo Maniacs, that's my thrash metal band. That's the relation. That's where the name actually comes from.
Yeah. That's really interesting. I didn't know where the name came from, because it's really unusual, isn't it?
I actually wondered where it actually came from. I thought it must be his nickname. It can't. It's not his real name, obviously, because it's Daniel, isn't it? So
Daniel is his real name, yeah.
It's your real name, but Gumo is your nickname, and everyone calls you Gumo.
Yeah, most of people. Yeah.
All your bandmates, all your bandmates, they call you Gumo as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, who would you say your main influences are then? Who did you? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of good German thrash bands out there, and you're on the underground metal scene, aren't you? So, I mean, you've got your Creator, Exhumer.
Yes, of course.
Tankard, obviously, which are a little bit. Well, they are thrash, but they're a bit sort of like a comedy thrash sort of thing, aren't they? Because of about drinking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, who would you say that your main influence is, or have you not got one, or you just?
Yes, I got for sure. So my love for heavy music in general, for guitars and stuff, that clearly started with the Scorpions. That's how it started.
Love the Scorpions.
And actually, there is friends of mine in my hometown that make a little bit of fun of me because they did all this Wind of Change, that soft stuff, and I keep telling them, listen to the good songs. They do have like really really good songs, you know. And then when I heard like the Kai Hansen guitar solo on "I Want Out," I wanted to learn to play the guitar. And then it was when it came to thrash metal, it was Agent Orange by Sodom. That's how I got.
Totally.
That's how I got hooked into thrash metal, and that's
Totally
why I have
vibe, isn't it? Totally different speed.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes. And that's where probably with Sodom I have the strongest emotional connection, you could say, because it was the first thrash metal band from Germany that I heard. And of course, I learned to love Creator, Tankard, Destruction. I mean, obviously, you know, Exhumer, like you mentioned, Assassin. I was consuming it all. I was getting like kind of obsessed with German thrash metal afterwards. But it started with Sodom and particularly with Agent Orange.
Yeah, they've done some good albums, Sodom. So right, so you sort of they're your like main influences then. Sodom, a good band, very good band. Yeah. And so it's, I mean, go on,
Paul. What were you saying, Paul? Sorry.
No, I was just saying there's a lot of German thrash metal bands now, isn't there? Really? I mean, apart from Sodom and Creator and Exhumer and Tankard, there is still some that are pretty much unknown as well. You know, I mean, I don't know where. I mean, I'm still actually a big fan of Helloween. I don't know if do you ever listen to them at all? Were they at any point?
Helloween, yeah, for sure. Helloween is big, especially their very first album. Like they had an EP, right? And then the Walls of Jericho, also the Keeper albums. Yes, of course, they were very, very big influence for me. Very big.
Right, I thought they might be.
Surely. Yeah.
You can tell listening to some of the albums that you've actually done. You can hear.
Yes, you can hear.
I'm thinking to myself, where have I heard that? Not exact where have I heard that before, but you know, you can feel that vibe where you've listened to another band, for example, and you can actually hear it. You know, but yeah, it's good to have an influence from some of the other bands.
What's the underground metal scene like over there, Daniel? Is there a lot of do you get a lot of gigs with smaller bands, things where you live?
Here where I live, it's not like the biggest town. It's like you could say a small town. And there is one club where you can play live, and they have like the Metal United Festival, they call it, but it is once a year. So and it's a typical club. They have one area where 300 people fit in, and another one in the cellar. It's called the Underground. You know,
brilliant.
The club is called the Underground, and we've played there several times. Obviously, it's for like 100 people, and it's really beautiful. You know, you invite friends from Germany or also from near in the area, or sometimes you even get invited, and it's like really small. Like people standing really close to each other. You can even feel like the sweat. You know, it's like really, really intimate, and it's for underground thrash metal concert. It's really, really cool in here.
I think that those venues are the best venues. They've got the best atmosphere, haven't they? Yeah, I like that, and you get a really good sound in there as well. That sounds like somewhere I would go to, somewhere like that. Yeah. So is people starting to book gigs and things again now over there? I know over here there's some.
Slowly, it's happening very, very slowly, but it is happening. Yes. So like friends of mine are telling me, you're not going to believe what happened. I'm playing a gig next month. You know, stuff like that.
Wow.
So but it's getting it's building up. You know, not as regular as often as before, but you can feel that something is growing again, you know.
Yeah.
So I do not have any dates yet, you know, but hopefully soon. Yeah, it seems to be possible, and it seems to make sense to start with booking again soon. At least it looks like.
So do you ever come over to the UK?
Yeah, I hope so. You know, it's we're getting asked many times, you know, are you coming to the UK? Are you coming to Australia? Are you coming to the USA? And it's the thing is that it happens like this, that the promoters, they need to book bands that are well known, so they get enough audience. So it makes sense to book all these flights and everything, you know. But of course, we would love to, and we are trying to build something with our fan base, obviously. And also, specifically, the UK is something I would like to visit one day and play thrash metal there. I'm really curious how it feels. You know, we've been to Mexico and the Ukraine, and every country has. I'm talking like I've been all around the world. It's not like this, but the countries that I've been to, I can clearly feel like each country, like Germany, Ukraine, Mexico, each one has a different vibe, and I'm really curious about UK, what it feels over there, like those small underground concerts, and USA as well, of course. You know, I would love to go there, and we are working on it. We're building something one day, hopefully.
Well, it's nice to make plans, isn't it, and to have ambition to get to different places. And the benefit of the UK is we're not that far from you, so you know you can just hop over and do a few gigs.
Yeah, that's true.
Australia's a bit further away, of course, but the UK is doable. Yeah, you need to come over. Yeah, me and Paul will come and see you, won't we, Paul?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll have a word and get him on Badger Fest. That'd be great. That look, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's because we have an underground festival mainly in October. Well, it's in October this year called Badger Fest, and it's set over 3 days, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And in them 3 days, I think there's 30 odd bands playing within those 3 days, and it is an underground metal festival.
Yeah,
so, and there's everything from death metal to thrash metal to grindcore, deathcore, you name it. It's any type of metal, isn't it, Donna?
Yeah, so, and we got the tickets. And I think there was 5 left or something. We literally just got in, didn't we?
Just about, because it's completely sold out. Really looking forward to that. Actually, it'd be great to actually see you over there, to come over to the UK and do a gig. That'd be phenomenal. That I think
it would.
You go down brilliantly, Daniel. Definitely, you and the guys, definitely.
Yeah.
You should definitely consider coming over.
Yeah, he will. Yeah. We'll make him. We'll get him over here.
Definitely. I mean, it looks like they're relaxing things now with the COVID stuff. They're relaxing.
Yeah.
You know, things that people are coming over from Europe. So, you know, it'd be great to actually see you over here. It would. You'd go down great, brilliantly.
Should we play one of your songs so everyone can listen to what you like and get a taste of what you do? I think we'll go with Kill Again Tonight. That's a really good one. I like that one.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, let's play it.
Right.
I am a killer, nothing yet, nothing
Wow, that was so good. I love that song.
Yeah.
Tell us about the video, because that video is really good. What was the inspiration for it, and how did you do it?
It's like, well, it's one thing that I always liked about thrash metal is, but maybe that's just me, but it's like, it's not so easy to consume, you know. It's music, and it has lyrics that hurt, you know. It's not, I think I'm even a bit surprised that you can play this, because I think we uploaded this video once to Facebook and it was not allowed. It was taken down, I think.
Really?
Because it was too harsh. I think it was this one, or it was another one. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting it wrong, but that's the inspiration is like to go where it feels uncomfortable. I don't know if I'm making any sense, you know, but try to imagine what's inside the head of a person that is doing that kind of stuff that you just saw in the lyrics or saw in the videos, and ask those questions. How is that even possible, that a human being can be that twisted and can be that weird and strange, and how does that even happen? But it does happen, you know. These kind of not so beautiful things exist in our world, and probably thrash metal is the music that that is talking about that kind of things. Maybe also death metal, you know. And sometimes
definitely.
but sometimes it's also important that you draw a clear line, you know. It's like it's not like how you say in English, glorifying that kind of stuff, you know. That's not the intention, but also not denying that it is there. These kind of things, they do exist. And some music needs to talk about it, you know. We cannot deny that those kind of things exist. And I always felt like thrash metal is there to talk about these kind of things, you know, make someone think about it, and I don't know, and maybe inspire, or I don't know. It's just I feel drawn to those dark things somehow, you know. Even though I'm not really like a dark, you know. See, I'm like a normal guy, I guess, you know. But there is something inside of me.
Don't worry, we're not thinking that this is about you.
Yeah.
No,
I feel drawn toward those kind of things.
Yeah, I think it's okay to get influenced from that kind of thing, and not to be afraid to explore the darker side of what goes on with people. But it's not glorifying it. It's just accepting that it's there. People do that stuff, and you know, the movies and things that we watch. You know, people like horror films and stuff. It's people like to explore the darker side, I think.
I say, I mean, don't forget there is bands out there that wear masks, wear face masks. I'm not talking about Slipknot. Have you heard of the Russian band Slaughter to Prevail?
Yeah.
Yes, I think I heard from Russia or some. I think I
can see where you're coming from there, where you say it's like a life story but made into a song, or you know, made into a thrash metal song. It's like you're not glorifying it as such, like you say, but you're just taking what might have gone through with someone else, but you're just turning it into an actual tune, which is really good, really. It takes, like you say, it's complicated, it's complex. It takes some doing.
Yeah. So did you sleep okay after writing those lyrics, Daniel, or were you up all night for a bit?
Yeah, probably. No, it's like I like to compare it with villains from movies, you know, like in the, no matter if it's for example, if it's a Batman movie or something, you know, those villains they can tell you why they are doing what they are doing, even though it's not really good what they are doing, but they have their arguments. They know why they are doing it, you know, and that's always I've always found that fascinating. They do have a point somehow, you know, those villains, and that's always something that fascinated me. And also probably that's where this kind of stuff comes from inside my mind. Maybe that's also another influence, you know, like villains. You know, villains are sometimes more interesting than the good guys. In a certain way.
I think usually they are, and like you said, they might do things that are a bit twisted that we won't do, but they have reasons for why they do it.
Yes, exactly. They have
we might not
reasons.
agree.
they
But
have
we're
reasons for why they are doing what they are doing. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. So do you like watching horror films and stuff as well then?
No, not really horror films. No, not
No.
a lot. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Are those alien movies? Are they a horror? Yeah, probably they are horror.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
These ones, yeah, I like them. You know.
Yeah.
It's like a sci-fi horror, though. The
Sci-fi
Yeah,
horror, yes,
yeah.
yes,
sci-fi
yes.
horror, not your
Yes.
normal horror with vampires
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So those alien films are good films, yeah.
Yeah. This kind of stuff. But I have to admit, you know, but you please don't tell anyone, you know. But
You know you're about to tell everyone right now, don't you?
It's not their real life, right? Now
You're among friends. It's okay.
No, it's like I also like soft stuff. I don't know. It's like those Star Wars movies, maybe not the new ones, you know, but the one from the 70s, 80s, or also like funny stuff, you know, Back to the Future, or pretty much your usual classics. I'm not like the guy you can talk about those like indie movies or insider stuff, you know. That's more with thrash metal.
Yeah.
But when it comes to
movies, you ever watch the Bill and Ted movies? Because that's
Bill and Ted. Yeah, I've seen Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
The whole soundtrack's based around rock and heavy metal in it.
Got it.
Bill and Ted movies. So yeah, I mean they're pretty good. Didn't
they just bring out a new one? There's one that had just come out.
Yeah, it wasn't that phenomenal, to be honest. It still had Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves in it.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like the Excellent Adventure or the Bogus Journey. I don't know. I think it's a bit dated now. It's, you know, you bring something out that 35 years later than the original one came out, and it doesn't seem as funny because the humor back then, the humor in the 80s compared to the humor now,
totally different.
Chalk and cheese, completely different.
I also sometimes think when they bring out a really good film and then they bring out like 6 more, they shouldn't do that because I think they lose something. It spoils it, doesn't it? I always like the first 1 and 2, and then I don't bother watching the rest usually.
Yeah.
They kind of drag it out, don't they, and keep going and get as much as they can out of it, but they shouldn't do that.
I think it's like it's a business mechanism, you know. They know beforehand if they put that much money into that kind of franchise, they will get that out of it, and they don't have to worry. And if the movie is still good, or that's not their concern. And I think that's how it happens, that they're doing, I don't know, the Fast and the Furious part 127, or how many are there, and who is watching all those?
I've got a friend who's going to watch all of the Fast and Furious videos in one go with their child. I'm like, you'll be there for 2 days. There's loads of them. Isn't there like 9 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. Yeah. It's interesting though that a lot of people that are sort of into metal and thrash and stuff are also into a lot of horror and horror writers and things as well. It seems to be a common theme, doesn't it?
Yeah, it fits. Yeah. It fits.
Yeah,
somehow.
It does.
Yes.
Yeah. So, how did you come up with the name Morbid Tales of Terror?
It's basically there was two aspects. Right. One aspect was very simple. It was like I wanted to have an album title that you can clearly recognize. This is a dark heavy metal record. It could be death metal or thrash metal. And just looking through the history of heavy metal, what kind of album titles, these kind of records, that was the one side. And the other side was the Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle is like a writer who is about like organizing your mind and freeing your mind and getting mentally stronger and all that. And he's talking about that many problems we have, they are just inside of our head, and we make them bigger with thinking about them into the wrong directions and enforcing our negative thoughts instead of our positive thoughts, or not thinking at all. And he's talking about different techniques. And if these techniques go wrong and if they're used in the wrong direction, it's morbid tales of terror what we create in our head, and therefore we created the world around us follows after those morbid tales of terror that we create in our head. And that's also what Andreas Marschall manifested with this cover painting. You know, you see like a person meditating, and then the demons come out of the head, and then where the demons come out, if you look at the picture, it's like this. You know, it has this is divided, and underneath it's everything is green and vertile, how you say in English. You know, everything is virtual, and on the upside where the morbid tales of terror are created, everything is full of blood and red and fire, and that's how we are able to create a terrible world by not knowing how to, by not reading the manual of how to use the human mind, you could say. And those were the two aspects where the album title actually comes from, basically.
That's really interesting. I love the art. The cover art is fantastic. You just keep looking at it. It's something draws you in, doesn't it? It's really interesting. That guy's done some art for other bands as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've always wondered what, you know, how bands actually name their albums. You know, for what reason? And obviously, I mean, that's what you've just said there, Daniel. That's the way you described it. Yeah, bang on that.
Yeah. So when you spoke to the artist about doing the cover art, did you explain all of that to him and what you were thinking, or did you?
Yes, I was.
It up to him?
Yeah, I was. I played to him the song, the title song. I gave him the lyrics, and the good thing is that he has worked with. It's Andreas Marschall. He has worked with Creator, Destruction, Sodoms. He knows about the thrash metal stuff, so he knows how to make thrash metal into a picture, you could say. That made it that made it much more easier. And I told him about like the idea I just told you, and he added a very nice detail that was we have to give credit to him for that, like dividing the picture like this and into the vertile and into the blood and fire section. That was his idea, and I totally agreed and said, yeah, let's do it like this. That's a good idea. That detail came from him, and that's how we worked together, and then he started painting it.
It's absolutely amazing. I really like it. Because you put some pictures on of the process, didn't you, when he was working on it on your Facebook page, and I saw them. Yeah, it was amazing. I like all that stuff. Yeah.
He was sending like sketches from time to time. Now we are here, and now I'm working on this, and it was really interesting to see it grow.
Yeah. So who's doing the cover art for your new album? You've got a live album coming out soon, haven't you?
No, the cover art from the live album is a totally different thing. It's by an Austrian newcomer artist, and and it's actually very interesting because we put all elements from all Gumo Maniacs album. You know, you have by Endurance and Conquer, you have that captain, or you have the priest of Lucifer, and you have the red eyes and the Psychomania, and we throw them all together. I don't know, maybe have you seen the Iron Maiden once did like some a best of the beast, where they put those, where they put the trooper and the Aces High Eddie and all those different Eddies and organized them, and that was kind of the idea. And for the live album, we are doing something like this, and I already something like this. Yes, correct. And I already have the final, but I cannot show it yet. But it looks, I personally think it looks really cool, and I cannot wait to show it.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
sounds really cool.
Because
so
it's also it's a live album, so you have the set list have from all albums the songs, you know, because it's a live set, so that's where the idea comes from. So what was your question, Donna? Excuse me.
When's that being released then? Because I can't wait to hear it.
We wanted to release it in July, but like I said in the beginning, a lot of stuff was happening, and we are moving it now to September. So the exact release date I will make it fix very, very soon, but we are moving it to September. Because also it's our first ever release where the bonus disc will be a DVD from our streaming show. We did a total mix and a total master in the studio. Like it sounds really cool, really raw and really relentless and brutal. I never thought that these songs can sound that raw. And the thing with the DVD is, it was our first time, and it's like we are selling it to the US, but also to Australia and to Europe. And those DVD players, right? They are using different video formats
regions,
in the US, in the different regions. So we made this file, the master file. We made it in the USA and had a friend of mine in the USA already tested one of the 2 master discs, and he said it's working over there in the USA. And right now I am waiting for the other master disc to arrive at my place, and that I can see if those European DVD players, if they're working well with the master disc here, and then we know, okay, this is working in both regions. It's everything good. And then we can give it to the. We wanted to do the testing because it's our first ever. Because with big labels like Nuclear Blast, they are doing a US version and they're doing a European version. So, and they manufacture one part here and one part there, but we have to do it for all the world. So that's why we need this testing phase, and that's why it takes a bit. And that's actually one of the reasons why we are moving it back to the September right now.
I'm not surprised after hearing all of that. Just make sure you send the right discs to the right countries, because otherwise you're gonna.
No, that's what I'm saying. We now have a disc that works all around the world, and I just need to, and I need to get it here and need to see if it's working here, like the master disc, and that one we will manufacture, and then it will. Sent out to all the world again.
Oh, that's much easier, isn't it, than having different regions and stuff? Yeah,
but that's the kind of stuff, that's the kind of stuff that is happening behind the curtain. And sometimes you wonder why it's taking these bands so long to release new stuff. But that's the kind of stuff, it's a lot about waiting and finding out, and that's why. But we're underway.
Yeah, a lot goes on behind the scenes that we don't know about. We just wait for the releases, and you're working away behind the scenes making it happen. Yeah. I think we should play another video. I think we've got Brimstone Baptism now. Should we let everyone listen to that and see what they think? You ready? Let's go. I really like lyric videos because then we can sing along.
It's like karaoke.
Excellent. That's how I like the
It's like when you
metal,
used to get an album and you used to get the lyrics inside and you could like look at them. Yeah. We like lyric videos. Were you singing, Paul? Did you like that?
Well, yeah, that Brimstone Baptism, riffs everywhere. Everywhere you look, riffs, guitar solos, riffs. Great tune, I have to say. Great tune, Daniel, that. Yeah. I like the vocals. The vocals are, you know, you listen to other thrash metal vocalists and you've got an individual sound, which is even better.
Thank you.
As far as I'm concerned. I don't know about you, Donna. I actually think it's, you know, you listen to different thrash metal bands, especially the German ones, and it's got an individual tone there, which is really, really good. So, you know, I'm hoping that you're going to get a bit bigger, more bigger, should I say, a lot bigger.
Of course he will.
Definitely.
Of course he will.
We're giving our best.
With songs like that.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great tune, that Brimstone Baptism. Yeah.
Yeah. Pardon?
Go on, Daniel. Is all right? Go on. Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, I just thought I always found it interesting how you can somehow even sense, you know, the culture or the country someone is from, because it's like I'm being told that we sound like really like German thrash metal, and my answer always is like, yeah, well, we're Germans and we play thrash metal, so it makes a lot of sense. But that's what Paul said, you know. It's like it's those individual German sounds somehow. It seems like we and I really embrace that, you know. I really love the Creator Destruction stuff. I really loved it, and probably it's in my veins as well, because also I was born here, so it seems like it's inside of us somehow. I don't know. Maybe it's culture. It's like almost like if I listen to Sepultura, to me that always feels like Indians drumming. I don't know, like roots. Yeah. I can feel that Latino vibes. It's hard to explain, you know, but there is something, and I don't know, Paul. I know what you mean. I don't know, Paul. Maybe that's exactly also what you're sensing.
They're Brazilian, aren't they? So they've got that,
exactly.
They've got that, like you say, they've got that sort of Latino tribal culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas,
and that's
I mean, go on, carry on.
So growing up then, were you always into metal? How old were you when you first discovered that you liked this kind of music?
Probably 10 or something. Probably 10. When I started listening, the Better of Dead and the Coma of Souls were already out. So I think they were released in, I don't know, 91, 92, something like that. So, but the first record I heard from Sodom, like I said before, was Agent Orange. So that's when I started. So I was like 10, 11 already. So I started very early. I was listening to like children cassettes, you know, like, I don't know, like those child play, those stories for children, like the, how you say in English, those audio plays, or I don't know, you know what I mean, I'm sure you know. And then I started listening to like radio music, but it started really early that I was hooked on heavy metal. My sister was older than me, and she was listening to like Dio in the other room when she was still living at home, when she was in her teenager years. So probably that also influenced me. I was used to guitars and stuff like that. And then I found out about Sodom very early at school, in the schoolyard. They showed it to me. I listened to it, and then I was hooked when I was probably 10 or 11, I think.
Yeah. So was it those early influences that made you think, I want to do what they're doing, I want to make music? Or was it one person in particular that kind of inspired you?
Well, when it comes to playing the guitar, it was Kai Hansen of Halloween.
Yeah.
He made me pick up the guitar, but musical influence, it was a lot of stuff. It was it all started with Scorpions, then Iron Maiden followed, Judas Priest. You know, obviously I was listening to the more insider stuff later on, you know, but I just like probably anyone else, I started with the classics because they were easy to access, they were everywhere, they were easy to find. and that's how it started. And then, but I've always felt like those melodic music, you know, like really like singing and playing melodies on the guitar, that always seemed, I don't even know why, but it seemed very difficult to me. And I felt like this thrash metal thing, that is something that is more maybe in my nature, you know, that I feel like that's something I can handle, you know. So that's why I was drawn to that side then later on.
Yeah. I mean, it was very different, wasn't it, when we were kids? It was kind of like people passing around cassette tapes that they'd made with songs on and things. And it's a lot easier now to find new bands and underground bands. But back then, I can remember making cassette tapes, and we used to write the names of the songs on the back of them in tiny little writing and do drawing and stuff on them. It was, I kind of like that, but
that's what I used to do.
And I do like that, but I can also see that the way we do it now is better, because you can instantly just find another band. Like, people could be going to your Facebook page or YouTube channel right now and listening to your stuff, Bandcamp, and getting it instantly, where then you had to wait for stuff to arrive in the mail or your friend to give you a tape they'd made. But I kind of like both. It was good. It was good, but it's good now too. So yeah, I know a lot of people do put albums onto cassette now. People still buy them.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they do.
How many albums have you got out now, Daniel? Have you got? Is it 5 you've got out now, or is it 6?
It's actually 6, because the By Endurance We Conquer, the Demons and Damnation.
Yeah.
It's the one with that captain and with the snowstorm on the cover. It's a double CD, and it is the Demons and the Damnation album from 2014 and 2016. Because we had back then like problems. We once had a professional record deal, but it went pretty wrong. It was with the Out of Disorder album, which came out in 2014, and then we already made the next one, but we got stuck with the record company, and it was about lawyers. It's long ago. It's quite a long story, and then stuff was piling up, and then we had 2 albums ready to release, but we were not allowed to release the first one because we were still inside of that contract, and then they piled up, and then we decided to release both of them at once because it was 2017, our 10th anniversary. That's why the Demons and Damnation, the By Endurance We Conquer, Demons and Damnation. That's how it's called. Right. It's a double disc, but it's not a double disc from one sessions. It's 2 albums. So you could count this one as 2 albums, and then it's 6 albums.
With you. Wow. So Teutonic Thrash Attack.
Yeah, so that's a best of. That's a best of.
That's the best of, right? Right. So you've got a mixture of all the albums just on that one.
Yes. Right. That was just that is also not on physical. You cannot buy this as a CD or a vinyl. It's just right. I think it's on Spotify and all that stuff. So it's to give an overview, you know. But what happens sometimes is we're still like Donna said, nowadays it's possible to reach the people all over the world through the internet if you're using it in a positive way, you know. And
it's actually on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Yes. And what happens is that people sometimes discover us, and then they ask, "Oh you seem to be around very long. You have so many albums out. What do I do?" Yeah, then listen to the best of and see what you like. You know, it's like to give an overview to make it a bit easier for beginners, you could say. That's why we put it out there, but it's not not like a physical release.
So have you got one song that you've done that you are most proud of, or that you really, really like? One of yours? Just one?
Probably Brimstone Baptism is one of my favorites, you know.
Yeah.
But another one is like it's like the Strike of Death from the Priest of Lucifer X.
Yeah.
Spontaneously, those 2 come to my mind, you know.
I like and that then, Hasta la Vista.
That's also Lucifer.
Nice. Yeah. That's that and Graveyard Fantasies.
Yeah, but they're all from there is something about that Priest of Lucifer record. I don't know what it is, you know. It's not as you could as developed as our other albums, but there's something about it that it's very popular, which is nice, of course, you know. So, but if you ask me what is my favorite album or my favorite song, it probably would change from time to time, you know.
Yeah.
Next week I would say something different, but if you'd ask me to make a top 5 each week, then probably Brimstone Baptism would be in the top 5 many times. I think, I'm really satisfied with this one.
Yeah, it's a really good song. I really like it. I can see why it's one of your favorites. Yeah, I just wondered, like, if out of all of the songs that you've done, if there was one that you thought, that's the one. Yeah.
This one is very very high rated, you could say, in my personal taste.
I think a lot of people will agree because it is a really good song. So I think we'll play another one of yours. This one's is it Asmodeus? Is that how you say it?
Yes, Asmodeus. Actually, I was singing it in the studio like Asmodeus, and then our producer Ruby Hoffman said no, but it's they spell it Asmodeus, and then he was playing to me like some, I don't know, like was like opera stuff or something where they were singing in Latin and they were singing it Asmodeus, and that's and that's how I actually find out, and I found out, yeah, that's right. And probably that's what also producers are there for, you know, to tell you that kind of stuff. But it's spelled like Asmodeus. That's how you actually say it.
Yeah, that's how it looks. I wrote it down so I could just, that's how it looks. Yeah, let's play it and let's let everyone hear it because it's a really good track. Brilliant. You're getting some really good comments in the section, by the way. People are saying that they love it. It's deadly. It's a killer track. I think you're going to get some new listeners, you know. I think you're going to get some new followers. There's people loving it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. I mean, the rest of the bands as well. I know that they're not here, but honestly, the drums and the guitars are fantastic. They're really, really good. Have you guys always been together? Is this the original lineup then for Gumo Maniacs?
I like to call it the original lineup for sure. There was another lineup before the first album that lasted like, I don't know, 11 months. But this
you
lineup,
had 4, didn't you, at one point? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was in the very beginning when we were making demos, and it was like, I don't know, 11 months. But with these two guys is like together since, I don't know, 2007 till now. It's like, I don't know, 14 years or so. So
a long time.
So they're not the initial lineup, but I like to call it the original lineup because it's 14 years versus 11 months. So they were not the first ones, but it's 14 years. It's just to me like. But I think original or the ultimate lineup, or how could you say? I'm like still struggling sometimes with English. I hope everything is understood what I'm saying. You know?
Absolutely, I think you do really well. Yeah,
because I think original in English language, it means like also it can mean the first one. Is that what it means? Like the original?
Yeah.
Okay, then they are not the original lineup, but they are the
longest lineup.
The longest and the main line, the one that really counts, you could say.
Yeah.
I hope I'm making any sense here.
Yeah. No, I think you can say that's the original lineup. It's a long time. Yeah.
It's a long time, yeah.
Yeah. So were you all friends before then? How did you meet them?
It was like I was searching for musicians here in my region, around my hometown, and I was just using like Google and searching for bands, and then saw what kind of bands do have what kind of musicians, and I thought like maybe I give these guys a try, you know. And I was just writing emails, so it was like pretty unspectacular, you could say. pretty boring story, you know, somehow. But it worked. It lasted for 14 years, so it wasn't all that wrong, I guess.
Yeah, well, you sound like you all work well together. So did you all have the same influences? Do you all like the same sort of music then?
We have like a common. We have some things in common, you know. The other guys, they're also listening to different stuff, may also even a bit outside of heavy metal. But when it comes to heavy metal, like I would say, like probably Creator and Slayer or stuff like the big bands, you know. I'm more into the insider stuff, also like Violent Force or all this German underground or Death Row, you know, like and Living Death and all that. But they're more, when it comes to thrash, they're more into the big bands, and probably like Halloween, Creator, Slayer, Iron Maiden. These are Metallica, the old stuff, obviously. Like the first 4 albums. That's what we have in common for sure.
Yeah. I'm with you on Creator and Slayer. I love both those bands.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. Never. I mean, obviously Slayer are finished now, but I'll definitely go and see Creator again because every time I've seen them, they've been amazing. Really, really good.
Yep.
Yeah. We've got a gig list, haven't we, Paul? We've got a list of possible people that we want to go and see. So it's about this long now. It's growing. It's a huge list of gigs, isn't it?
Thrash metal mix. It's a mixture of thrash metal, death metal, you name it. Metal.
Got it.
Do you like Rammstein?
Pardon?
Rammstein.
I'm listening to it from time to time, you know. But I would not say I'm a fanatic. I think they're good. I like to listen to them from time to time. You know, I like the style they have. You know, it's very. But it's also like the weird thing is that outside of Germany, a lot of people think that this is typical German music. You know, that's how Germans sound like, and that's sometimes I have a bit of mixed feelings, you know, because to me if Germans are making music, to me they sound more like Halloween, you know, like melodies and they are like they are somehow even happy, you know, and this martial kind of even kind of military sounding. I don't know, this
I love
Rammstein.
those Keeper of the Seven Keys albums, 1 and 2. The great albums, those Halloween albums.
Yes, they are for sure.
But it reminds me of my youth, and I'm getting old now. So, but yeah, because they were, what, 87, 88, I think they first came out, the Keeper albums. Yes. It was between 87 and 90 anyway. I'm not exactly sure of what year it was, but I think it was 87, the first one. And maybe 88 or 89, the second one came out. And
I think you're right.
Proper melodic, original stuff, you know, that very easy to get into. Very, very easy. If you've not ever listened to Halloween, Donna, you should give them a
I like Halloween. I already like them.
I say, even though they're like nearly 40 years old, 35, 40 years old.
Yeah.
You know, don't forget the Iron Maiden albums. They started off in 1982, I think Number of the Beast was. And as the years went by, they also had their albums out in the 80s until present day. You know, well, not present day, but, you know, still going at the end of the day.
I think my first metal band that I kind of got into was Guns N' Roses. I heard Appetite for Destruction. I was like, yeah, I like that.
Iron Maiden, Number of the Beast.
And then I found Slayer.
One of the first ones I bought.
Yeah. As soon as I heard Slayer, I was like, yeah, this is it now, really. This is it. Love them. Yeah.
It looks like it's quite common. It's quite common that we all start with the classics somehow, you know.
Yeah. It's just what we had access to, isn't it? It's just what was around then. You know, we only had access to limited amount of bands, and that's why we all kind of have the same ones in common, I think.
I was like you, Daniel, at the end of the day. Scorpions, that's a massive fan of Rudy Schenker and the boys. You know, loved the Scorpions. And Winds of Change, it was just something that's a ballad. Call it a power ballad if you want to, I suppose. But yeah, the Scorpions back in the day when they first came on the scene, they were absolutely massive.
Yes.
They were huge. Yes. I mean, obviously, as time's gone on now, you don't really hear of them. They've sort of faded into the distance a little bit. But yeah, you're right. That you've got to start somewhere. Halloween, Scorpions. I'm not surprised they influenced you quite a bit because they are classic rock bands.
I know Sid likes all that stuff. He loves all that rock stuff. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people do.
Yeah.
I think that the main thing is that the music that we've kind of grown up listening to, it's timeless, isn't it? People are discovering it now for the first time and really liking it, and we're like, we've known about that for 30 years. It still sounds really good.
I think you've got stuff that's 30, 40 years old, and people are saying, "Oh, I've only just heard this." I'm like, "Where have you been over the past 30 years, 35 years, or something like that?"
But
you've been living in a cave or something.
That's particularly with heavy metal. I feel like it's like this. That if people are into heavy metal, maybe they get themselves a suit and they get themselves a job and a family, you know. But they I think you never really stop listening to those old stuff that you started with. Even if it's only once in a while, you're going to re-listen to it till the rest of your life, probably. That's there's just something about heavy metal that it gets stuck in your veins and then it's in there.
Yeah, definitely. Have you listened to any English thrash metal bands? You know, like Centrix or
Centrix, yeah, I've listened to them.
Shrapnel.
Yes.
Have you heard Shrapnel?
I think so. Yes.
Got that new album called Palace for the Insane. You've got them, and trying to think who else now. The Evil.
Yes, Evil. I've listened to those. Yeah.
You listen to them as well. What do you think of the English thrash metal stuff?
It's really good. It's really good. It has a different vibe. It's like it has this. It's even hard to explain because
can you actually tell that they're English? You know, like I said to you, we were talking before about how did you know I was? You know, it sounds German, for example.
Yeah.
Can you actually tell that these bands are English just listening to the way they sing? You know, the vocals.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes there. It's hard to explain, but there is something about them. It's like I'm not saying that they sound like Venom at all, you know, but there is this, I don't know, English vibe in it. It's hard to say. It's hard to explain. It's with the German, it's easier for me to explain because they have this th, the way they spell the th when they talk, you know. It's just like the German accent, and they are very raw and brutal and relentless, and with the English, it's more they have this punk vibe somehow, you know, because probably that's also where the country is where punk comes from, the UK, and that's where it started, and it's still in there somehow, you know. Even though Evil do not sound a lot like punk, but it's like I don't know, it's just some kind of emotion that it's this.
Yeah,
certain,
I think the influence is there, isn't it? Yeah. I think we've probably inspired a lot of people to go find some new bands today, including yours and lots of other people that we've talked about. So hopefully, I mean, the comments have been great. I think people have really, really enjoyed listening to your music, and they're all talking about other bands that they like and stuff. And you've definitely got a lot in common with them all.
You're only going to find them if you're looking at the underground bands. The mainstream bands, they're too mainstream, aren't they? You know, like you say, like Megadeth and Slayer. And
yeah,
Metallica
you've got to dig deep, haven't you, and try and find the other one.
Exactly. Yeah. You've got to look at the proper underground scene to actually find these new bands that you've never heard before. Like I wouldn't have known about Gumo Maniacs if it wasn't for Donna, to be honest.
But that's the beauty of shows like this, like this ones we're doing right now. That's the beauty, you know, because that we now have the internet. We can make these interviews. We can talk about bands that are not that well known. You know, people like me get a platform. I'm very grateful for that. By the way, thank you for having me, because I saw there were really nice comments today. You know, and that's the beauty about it, because there is people that are really searching for more, you know. They are not satisfied with the mainstream stuff. They want to dive deeper, just like I did back then, where I wanted to know everything about German thrash metal at some point, you know. And that's the beauty of something like this, because it gives you a hint of where you could look, you know, and you could search for stuff.
That's it in a nutshell. If you're satisfied, then you're not going to look any further, are you?
Yes.
You've always got.
I mean, that's why we do shows like this. That's why we do our podcasts and radio shows, because we like to share music. If we hear a good band, we like to let everyone else hear them too. So that's the whole reason why we do this. You know, and if we get people listening that might never heard the band before, like when I sent you Gumo Maniacs, Paul, you'd never heard of them before. You were straight into them. You know, that's what it's all about. It's about sharing music, isn't it? Yeah, and Daniel, thanks for joining us tonight this afternoon. It's been great. I knew I had to get you on. I had to get you on to do this. Definitely. I knew you were busy, but I figured we would work it out and get you on here. Definitely. Yeah. I'm gonna end the show here, guys. I'm gonna end it with a song that I actually really like. This is my favourite song by you, and it's Legions of Death.
Yeah,
and I just want everyone to hear it because it's a really, really good song. So everybody listening, I think you should all go check out Gumo Maniacs, find them on Bandcamp, buy their stuff. They've got an absolutely amazing set of all of their CDs. You can just buy the bundle of everything. YouTube,
get yourself some merch as well.
Yeah, and the merch is brilliant. Yeah, Paul's got a really cool T-shirt now, haven't you, Paul?
Yeah, I've got the Brimstone Baptism T-shirt. It's quality, it's class.
Yeah,
go and buy it. Get out there, go and buy it, and help these guys out, and let them. You know, to get them a bit.
So
bigger.
Everybody, listen to this song because I really like it. Legions of Death, and then go show them your support. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for having me.